Hello students, Michael Sanchez, violin teacher here. Hope you guys are having a good evening. So this is the 2 to 4 year experience class for anybody that's been playing in that range. This will probably be the most effective. If you've certainly been playing less time or more time, you probably can still find benefit from today's class. So we've been going into kind of a detailed approach of starting the webinars with scales and then working our way into a piece. And normally we've been doing etudes, but we're going to skip that today and just focus on a scale and then working on the piece Ave Maria, which we just found, and it's labeled Sonatina, but it's definitely the Ave Maria, and it's by Schubert. So awesome. Okay, so we'll start with the scales and work our way into that. Hopefully you guys are in tune. So yeah, because Ave Maria is in 2 sharps, this is going to be a great scale to work on. So what I suggest you guys do for this is to work on the scale in different rhythms. So, you can obviously just do it in quarter notes, but why don't we try doing it in eighth notes, 2 per bow, 2 notes per bow. So like this, like that. And then we'll do the thirds as well, and then we'll work our way down into the arpeggio. So basically we're going to do eighth notes and then 2 per bow. All right, so hopefully you guys were able to do that. Basically my philosophy with shifting in a scale is to always go up on the A string and always come down on the D string. So in this particular scale, I'll just point out where that's at. So we go up on A, and then we go down on E, so it would be here. So basically from this point on to here, we're in third position in that area, and then we're down back to first. So in the thirds, we'd be in third from here to, I would be till right there. So right here would be going down to first position. Yeah, there's a lot of notes that are easily missed, I think, right in here. So I highly recommend doing this slow practice in here. Let's actually do that slowly together, line 3. Make sure that 3 is touching the 4. Back over to the A is tricky. Make sure this G's in tune. 1, 2. So what I suggest is using a tuner to really match up your intonation in line 3. I think that's probably the easiest missed notes out of the whole exercise here. All right, well, let's go on to the piece now that you guys have gotten your warm-ups in. Hopefully you guys have your violins handy. So we're going to go over to the Sonatina Ave Maria. So we actually worked on the first bit up until A in class 1 for the 1 to 2 year experience class. So what I'll do is I'll just play, actually at the end I'll play the whole song, but for right now I think what we'll do is playing up until A. I'll just kind of show you guys how that's supposed to sound, and then we'll go on from there. Like that. So yeah, the at A it kind of goes back to kind of the first theme there. And it goes to B natural. That's the first kind of different note right in there. Let me go ahead and grab my pen here. Right there. So that's kind of our first new note. Definitely wanted to still shift up into third position on this note, just like we did in the beginning. It actually was fingered in the beginning, but not here. This is a half step D sharp, so make sure that's touching. 4 is fine. So all these notes are half steps, so those should all be touching. And then we go back down to first position, and then shift back up to third position. 3, 1. I suggest staying in third. I might not have though, but that's I think a better fingering. You could do actually a 3 here, because a D sharp is the same thing as E natural. No, it's not. Sorry. So it'd be. So do that as a 2 actually, then half step 3, then 4. I think that'll be the best fingering there. So we're going to do a 2 here, half step 3. Then we're going to do 3 again, and then 4. Right here. It's a little bit different. So that intonation is going to be this. Just like that. All right, let's go on. Now that actually works well in third. I actually tried to shift there, but actually worked out pretty well just to do that all in first. So yeah, make sure you guys don't miss that G sharp right here. And then it's a half step to the 4. And then a half step actually on different strings for the 4 to the 3. So yeah, so you're on the D string playing 4th finger. The 3 is going to be touching the 4 on the G. So these 2 fingers should be touching. For those of you guys who are here, you guys can see that in a measure before B there. So we have use the 4 to find the 3, and then open D's fine. Okay, and then actually the next part is interesting. You don't really see this very often. It's a staccato half note. How many of you guys are kind of wondering how to do that? A staccato half note is basically the same exact thing as, let me maybe write it down here. So a staccato half note is the same thing as a quarter note with a rest. I'm really bad at drawing rests or whatever. So why do they write it like that? I have no idea. Because yeah, a quarter with a rest would be like that, and the same thing as a staccato quarter or half note. Okay, and then right there, they're doing basically staccato for those 8th notes. And naturally, if this goes fast, it's going to be off the string, which, how many of you guys have done off the string practice, have actually played spiccato? Okay, it's quite a few of you. All right, so basically that's going to be where I'm going to be right at the frog area, and I'm going to try to get a bounce of the bow. Right there. So basically the best part to do that would be where the balance point of the bow is. So right where I can actually balance my bow on the strings without my hand, just the natural balance point is going to be the best place for me to do the spiccato. And the key to get a good spiccato is going to be using the small muscles, using the index, keeping the fingers curved, letting the wrist be flexible. And then the biggest thing is letting the bow do the work. So a lot of students try to force it like this. I call it kind of more picking, but it should be more heartier. It should be more the bow is kind of sinking into the strings, and you're just guiding it along with the index. So you want to let the bow drop into the strings to do this. Raise your hand if that makes sense. Certainly is not an easy technique. It's going to take some practice, but you guys could actually practice it with open strings or maybe even a scale. You could do the D major scale with it. But yeah, that's basically what they want there. If the piece is going slow, you can do it on the string. That's kind of the indicator of a spiccato versus a staccato, is that a staccato is on the string, whereas a spiccato is off the string. And the way it changes over is basically where it's going fast. So if you're playing this piece, so if you guys are doing it fast like that, naturally it's going to be off the string. Whereas if it's going slow, probably if it's any bit faster than that, you have to do it off the string. If it's slower than that, probably on. So raise your hand if that makes sense. Staccato versus spiccato. All right. Good to see all you guys here. All right, so the next part we're definitely going to shift into third position. Make sure you guys hit that F natural. Really easy to miss that. So low 1. Then we're shifting into third position. Here. We have low 3, C natural. I would shift down probably here to first position on the F natural. So you're basically coming down after the 1 on in third position, the A. So that section there would be. You could stay in third as well. There's different ways to do that. Now that I'm actually playing it, I kind of almost prefer third. Like that. Make sure those are short. Okay, this next part, you don't actually play the first measure of C. That's, I believe, the piano. And then we come in after that. It's going to sound like this. And that's all good fingering. So basically they're having you go up and down there. So follow, whenever they have numbers in the music like this normally indicates a shift. So in this case, we got third, like it's suggesting, because that's a 2 and third. First, so they're giving you a good fingering there. So yeah, you're going basically up and down. This is actually a really good spot to practice third position and keeping the hand relaxed as you're shifting, bringing the thumb and the index together. And trying to be in tune with this. This is a really good spot for first and third. So I think it's really easy actually to hold your finger down too hard on this note, because a lot of students when they're playing in third position, they tend to really grab the instrument too tight. And what that's going to cause is going to be difficult to play this next note, the D, in tune, because you're going to have too much hold on the instrument. You're not going to come back properly. So that's a really good spot to practice. So just doing that would be good practice. It's going from the D to the F sharp. Like that. So I suggest practicing that this week. All right, let's keep going at just after D there. I would do that in third, shift up there, just to stay consistent with what was before. So this would be in third as well, shifting up. And that's actually the same exact intonation as what we just practiced. And then back to first. C sharp. And then, yep, third. This is a really good practice for third position. Raise your hand if you feel like you need practice on third position. Only one person? Couple more? All right. All right, so that next line. So make sure when you're doing that staccato slur, all those notes combined, you're using probably the whole bow, and make sure there's a nice separation between each staccato. Don't force it with your arm. Don't go. You want to do. Notice how my index finger is moving? So that's how you want to guide it there. Like that. Make sure you guys are doing this G sharp, really easy to miss that. Right there, G sharp. Okay, and then next part we actually have some double stops. How many of you guys feel like you need practice with double stops? All right, more people. Okay. So maybe the third position is too easy for you guys. All right, E. Oh, that was rushed. Okay, so for double stops, the key is not to really do anything differently. That's where students go wrong with double stops, is that they think that they have to press harder, they have to do something different. That's just not true. The same thing as I would play just a normal quarter note or even staccato. Look at how it's not really changing other than my bow is going up a little bit to hit the G and my three's down. See the comparison between this and that. So there's nothing changing in my technique, but that's what most people do when they do double stops is they change their technique to where their thumbs grabbing harder, their pinkies stiff, their wrist locks up, they use the arm, so it's more like, or the one thing that does make it more challenging is that you do have to be accurate with your bow plane, so you can't have your bow a little bit too low or a little bit too high. There does have to be some accuracy with the contact. So I think that's the biggest thing with double stops is working on accuracy of contact, which can be practiced with open strings. So just practicing. Just trying to get the bow to be right in between both strings evenly. That's the key to really get a good solid sound with the double stops. Now when I do this next one, if my knuckles were too low, then I would hit the D string with my 4. If my knuckles were too low, so I wouldn't be able to do that. I would have to kind of just kind of awkwardly lift my hand up for one double stop, which I don't want to do. So when I do the first double stop, notice how I just put my 4 down. See how there's no change in my hand position? Like that. Easier said than done, I'm sure. Especially because, yeah, it's all the way on the G. So this is really exposing good hand technique. So if you're finding yourself reach over to find that next one, if you're going and then kind of going like that, that's telling you that you need to improve your hand technique. You can just place the 4 down without moving the hand here. That's good technique. And then right here, just lifting up the 3 and the 4, and then placing the 3. Raise your hand if that makes sense. To a point? Good. Okay, that's good. So I think we'll go to there for this week. I think there's more to this piece. Um, so yeah, the only spot I shifted there was here on the G3, the C there, C sharp. So yeah, what I was mentioning in the last class, make sure that when you guys are shifting into a C sharp, that your thumb is guiding the shift, and then the 1 just comes up above the thumb position. Make sure that that's how you're finding the C sharp. And then I would come down here to first position, and then I would just finish it off in first. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is play the whole piece slow, and then the second time I'll play it fast. And then what you guys can do as you're listening, go ahead and formulate some questions that I'll answer right after I'm done with that. I'll try to put myself in view here for those that are here in the class. All right, so there was. All right, so that was it. Let me just maybe take a couple questions and I'll play it fast to the end. Yamui asked half note staccato, quarter rest. Was that from earlier? Huh. Yes, I think I didn't mean quarter rest. Sorry if I said that improperly. Okay, all right, let me play it fast. right, there it is. Hopefully that's something you guys can play along with at home this week. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me throughout the week at Michael at superiorviolins.com. I hope you guys have been enjoying the classes. I'm going to kind of hang out with the people that are here right now and answer any questions they might have. But if you guys would like to join the webinars, feel free to visit Violin Tutor Pro and click on the webinar tab. You guys should find a way to sign up for this class or any others that we have going on. Have a great night.